ES Audio.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Travers, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, Virgin Orbit pauses operations. Now, let's get into it. TikTok is set to be banned on phones used by UK government ministers and civil servants. Cabinet Office Minister Oliver Dowden will make a statement to MPs later today about the security of government devices, when he's expected to confirm the ban of the Chinese-owned social media app. It means the UK would follow in the footsteps of the EU Commission and other administrations over security fears. It comes as the US government demands the app's Chinese owners ByteDance sell their shares or face a potential nationwide ban on the app in America. TikTok continues to face allegations it shares users' data to the Chinese government, something the company strongly denies. Virgin Orbit is pausing all operations, and there are reports that almost all of its staff will be furloughed. The announcement comes after the first satellite mission from the UK failed to reach orbit earlier this year. According to reports, staff were told in a meeting on Wednesday that the furlough was intended to buy the firm time to finalise a new investment plan. The length of the furlough period is currently unclear. Virgin Orbit shares plunged nearly 19% in extended trading after the news. It's raised concerns for some about what this could mean for the UK's future space endeavours.
It's the reality of a private industry. There will be some losers. Do I see it affecting the UK? Yes, to a certain extent, certainly down in Cornwall. I don't see it affecting us negatively. If anything, sadly, it's a positive.
That's Scott Hammond, Deputy CEO of SaxaVord Spaceport in Shetland, which is planning its first launch from the UK this summer. He's been telling us about their mission to launch up to 30 satellites a year from the site in the most northern part of the UK, Unst, and said why their site is ideal for polar launches.
If you're at the equator, you travel faster because the Earth is fatter, about 1,400 feet per second there. Meanwhile, up in Shetland, it's about 800 feet per second. If you want to go into polar orbits, you don't want that Earth spin because you have to counter it with fuel. And the more fuel you use, the less payload you can have on board.
Scott told us the sort of satellites they're planning to launch are a combination of Earth observation, communication and life sciences, the study of things like stem cells in microgravity.
It's opening up space, and that's what we're all about. It's giving access to space, not just to traditional players, but equally, this life science. This has the capability of driving medical research immensely because you can do it in microgravity.
Scientists have identified a dinosaur which potentially has the longest neck ever seen in an animal, 15 metres. It's more than 6 times longer than the necks of giraffes and 1.5 times the length of a double-decker bus. The team at Stony Brook University, New York, revealed that the creature roamed East Asia and other parts of the world more than 160 million years ago. It belongs to a subgroup known as sauropods, a group that Dippy, the much-loved dinosaur on display at the Natural History Museum in London, is also part of. The spacesuit that will be used for the return to the moon has been unveiled. Designed by Axiom, the new suits are more streamlined and flexible than the old puffy Apollo ones from the 1960s. They have a greater range of motion and have been designed to fit a broad range of potential wearers, accommodating at least 90% of the US male and female population. The prototype models that were on display by NASA have an outer charcoal grey layer, with dashes of orange and blue with Axiom's logo on the chest. The exact look of the final suits that will be used for the mission, however, remains a closely guarded secret. But the US Space Agency did say that the suits will be white because it's the best colour to reflect the harsh sunlight on the moon's surface and protect the wearer from extreme heat. Now, evidence suggests that Venus is geologically active. The team from the University of Alaska Fairbanks Geophysical Institute say they may have found evidence that it does have volcanic activity, after finding what appears to be the remnants of eruptions and lava flows. They said the findings could help finally answer the long-standing question of what is going on inside our sister planet. Venus differs from Earth in that it does not have plate tectonics, which on our planet is where volcanic activity comes from. Let's go to the ads. Coming up, a £1 million prize for AI and an ancient fossil is found in an unlikely place. Welcome back. A study has found that Earth's water did not come from melted meteorites as it was previously thought. Water makes up 71% of our planet's surface, but it is not yet known how or when these huge bodies of water formed. Researchers led by the University of Maryland analysed melted meteorites that had been floating around in space since the solar system formed some 4.5 billion years ago. They found these meteorites had extremely low water content and some of the driest extraterrestrial materials ever. The Chancellor has announced an annual £1 million prize for the most groundbreaking research into artificial intelligence. It's called the Manchester Prize in honour of the world's first stored programme computer, built at the University of Manchester back in 1948. Jeremy Hunt also announced in his budget a £2.5 billion 10-year research and innovation programme for quantum computers. And finally, a 250 million-year-old fossil of a sea reptile has been found halfway up a mountain in Norway. The ichthyosaur fossil shows that the ocean predator apparently existed long before scientists previously thought. It was believed to have evolved alongside dinosaurs in the Mesozoic era, but the remains were reportedly found in a rock layer which dates to nearly 2 million years after the end of the mass extinction, making them the earliest of these types of fossils found yet. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for the Leader podcast from the Evening Standard. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. See you then.